But I have to say my heart belongs to this Mugler. I mean, what do you say? The construction, the detailing. Oh my gosh, it's just heavenly. I hope that you're sitting down and you've got the glambulance on speed dial, because what I'm about to show you is heartbreakingly good and a testament to the endless magic and possibility and storytelling that is thrifting. So I got a call from my local thrift store and they found a vintage suitcase, and inside, even just from the photos, honestly, my heart stopped. So I'm gonna head there now. I'm gonna take you with me, and I cannot wait to see it for the first time myself and also share the story with you. So buckle up, my vintage and thrift loving friends. This is a good one. So this is the suitcase that the clothes were discovered in. That in itself is a story, right? And it's so chic as well. I mean, imagine the stories that this case could tell. So Ruby, who you'll meet in a minute, was telling me that all the clothes were neatly folded in this scented paper. And they all fit because they were so tiny. And I love thinking about, you know, who packed them and why did they donate them? Did they know the history? Did they know about the story of these clothes, or was it not something that they sort of really focused on? Maybe we'll never know. But you wait till you see the clothes. Every piece is just so beautiful, but I think for me the standout is this Emilio Pucci. I mean, it's just giving like 70s cabana, like pool party extravaganza, especially with these little matching bikini bottoms, briefs, I'm not sure, but oh my gosh, they're just insanely amazing. Wow. I mean, look at the details on the buttons. Everything has the branding. Everything is so thought about and considered. And the fabrics are just absolutely beautiful. So I'm guessing that since this was made for David Jones, which is in Australia, maybe this lady was Australian, maybe she was a fit model, because everything is so teeny tiny. And then I think my other standout pieces, I love all these neutrals, all these natural fibers, these bespoke made pants, this beautiful little blouse, this Cacharel broderie anglaise skirt. I mean, it's so current, like it just goes to show you how timeless beautiful design and construction is. The Sonia Rykiel skirt is fantastic too. This Yves Saint Laurent, or Saint Laurent, he has on the tag Rive Gauche. So there's a great resource that you can use called the Vintage Fashion Guild. And it has label resource, it has fabric resources, so you can type things in and you can search for the label that is the same as what you've discovered, and it will give you the era. So this is 60s kind of into the 70s Yves Saint Laurent. The velvet on this, the construction on this is just like, oh, I can't deal. I mean, can you imagine this as a set, like how chic she would have looked? Incredible. The Lanvin is beautiful too, this little floral blouse, really interesting details in the prints. But I have to say my heart belongs to this Mugler. I mean, what do you say? It's just exquisite. Incredible velvet. The construction on this, and I'm guessing this is ready to wear, not couture. I could be wrong, and please correct me if I am. But if this is the ready to wear, can you imagine what the couture is like? Like, this is just the construction, the detailing. Oh my gosh, it's just heavenly. And the matching skirt that literally I don't think would even fit any of my nieces. It's so small. Was she a fit model? Was she just a teeny tiny petite person? You know, ladies were definitely smaller back then. I just love thinking about this and dreaming, like, who was she and why did she have these clothes and where did she live and what did she do and how much did she wear them, or was she a collector? Oh, it's just so magical, isn't it? I mean, even the buttons are amazing, right? Yeah. Like, just the way that they close and the construction. How do you feel about this piece? This is my favorite.
Oh, it's my favorite too. I think it's beautiful.
Like, look at the details.
It's not bad.
So are we thinking it's the 70s? What do you think?
Yes, yeah, definitely. There's a couple of other pieces that are from the 70s as well. But I think some of them might be earlier.
Because we couldn't find much about this label on the Vintage Fashion Guild. I don't know if maybe they haven't listed Mugler yet. So I couldn't find too much, and I think this is ready to wear, not couture, because it would say couture, right?
Yeah, it would. And also they don't often use these press buttons.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, for like a couture they would have different buttons. Not always, but...
So that's probably machine done, do you think? Because couture is no machine, right?
Yep.
So, that's really smart. See, I didn't think of that.
I mean, that's not to say I'm right.
But hey, let's roll with it.
I'm just making an educated guess.
And the size. I was saying before, I think it's maybe she was a fit model. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. It's tiny.
I mean, is that how little fit models were then? Like, crikey.
I think so.
Yeah, show us this label.
Because to me, this is like the sizes that you see, like even in like the 20s and 30s.
I mean, women were smaller back then too, right?
Like it's pretty small.
I know. Like, who's wearing that? That's fitting our wrists, Ruby.
I know.
Like, seriously.
And it looks child size, but obviously it's not.
I mean, she could have just been very petite as well.
I would, because it's not very long.
Some women are petite, so she was super tiny.
Yeah.
Short and tiny hips.
Because that would be like a full-length skirt.
How's the velvet?
Obviously not.
Seriously.
On someone
No, that would be 3/4 for me too.
And I'm not even that tall.
No, me either.
But I think this is what I love about it. It's got pockets.
I didn't even see that.
So it's got lined pockets.
Oh.
which I think is amazing.
Me too. Everything's better with pockets.
I know, and that's a hidden pocket in there. So.
Oh, what? In the back?
No, it's in the side.
Oh,
so when
okay.
you, so it's got like the pocket there,
Oh.
and then they've cleverly hidden the pocket into the side zip. So when you open it, that's where you do it up, but the pocket sits behind.
Oh, so it's not.
So that when you do, sorry, I'm not. When you actually zip it up to wear it, and then the pocket's there.
See, I mean, that
So
doesn't
that's
happen in fast
no,
fashion.
it's
does it?
amazing tailoring. Like you just don't see that, especially in ready to wear. It's pretty rare.
And we were looking at the label for this one, Saint Laurent, on the Vintage Guild, and we discovered it's probably like late 60s, early 70s. We could, because the one we saw had the pink and the red. But interestingly, this one, and I don't know whether it's been, maybe it's just from the dye of this, but
I don't know.
that's both red, and we couldn't see that on the Guild, could we?
No.
But I'm guessing that was a set. What do you
It
think?
was in the suitcase. It was folded together. Like
Okay.
This was inside, and this was folded up on the same hanger. I mean, honestly, I didn't see that last time.
What does that say?
Made in Italy.
Okay.
I don't feel like
What-
that's been added on afterwards because that matches this, but it doesn't match
does,
that.
doesn't it?
So
So is this, what is this nylon? Is this a synthetic?
I think so.
It feels so silky, doesn't it?
It does. 20% cotton,
Okay.
90% rayon.
Oh, okay. There you go. And this was lovely. I love the Lanvin. Look at the details on this. I thought that was great.
Yeah, this is pretty, and it feels really nice.
Incredible silk, right? Yeah, look at that detail in the
And
fabric.
even the little buttons.
Oh, I didn't see them. Oh, yeah, they're so cute. I really love these neutrals too, that I feel like these are so current, these ones. Like, I feel like you'd see that at like, you know, Kit X or, you know, Reformation or like, you know.
Yeah, I love this is like one of my favorites though with this.
I know, I loved how you put that
This little
together.
top.
When you, so Ruby
Out
sent me
the
some
back.
photos when she found it, and we both nearly passed out. But I loved how you put it together because I think that just makes so much sense. Like, look how gorgeous that is together.
It's so nice.
So this is, what's the material?
So this one's an Italian linen.
Wow.
I'm not sure about this
And is
one.
that broderie anglaise?
Yeah.
Or kind of touching on that, right?
Yeah, it is. And then it's even got
What's
like the
that?
little so I've got like some dog star clothing which is like a Japanese sort of style. And you can tie these up inside to
what? To
you
like,
pull it, so you pull it
yeah.
and so it makes the skirt do that
Oh, wow.
like little puff thing, which I've never seen in a skirt this old before. And there was probably a loop.
So that was like if you were kind of on the beach or something, do you think?
Yeah.
Or like, wow.
See how there's a buttonhole in it? But I
Like-
can't find the buttons. So
Like sometimes they have on sleeves.
yeah, so sometimes the
Oh, that's
buttons
so
are
cute.
inside.
See, I would do that now with a brooch. I've never found a garment that
So-
actually has that inbuilt.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume there's probably another button inside. And then you button it up either inside to make it shorter, or the more modern ones you usually like tie it.
I just love that.
But
And
I think that's really cute.
I think that's super cute. Even look at the hem. Like, it's almost like bunting.
I
Like,
know.
it's so beautiful.
And it's on both sides. Honestly, I didn't notice that yesterday, so...
The more you look at these garments, the more you see. Like, the thought and the construction is just beautiful.
Yeah, because it's on both sides, look. And then there's a button in the middle.
Wow.
So I'm not sure if it's supposed to
That's
button...
so cute. Yeah, that makes sense. I love that you saw that because I didn't even notice.
I wonder if they're meant to be actually like pants.
Oh,
Like, you know how you can button...
like little harem style.
Yeah. Okay, that's a bit of a mystery because I haven't found another button inside yet. So.
I love those pants.
I know, I love these
They're
pants.
like, they look like they've been.
It's like sailor's pants.
Yeah, they look like that always happens to me. Honestly, everything I touch falls off the hangers.
It's a size 44, so it's...
So they've been like bespoke, right? They're tailor made.
Yeah,
Not a brand. They were
No,
made for
she's-
her by a tailor.
I think so. And I'm going to assume that she probably had these made in Paris where she bought the rest of this
Oh
stuff.
my God, see, that just breaks my heart. What a beautiful story, like, to think. Like, I wish I knew more. And I love thinking about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're right. Like, she probably, she went to Paris.
I think so. Or maybe she was from Paris. Maybe she moved here
True.
a really long time ago. Because the thing is, we don't really know
I
who
did.
donated it.
I
how
know,
old
that's
it
the other
is,
thing I'd
like-
love to know. I did notice on the Pucci, though, and I was saying this before, that it says for David Jones.
So, it can't be that old then. Well,
But then does that mean that she lived in Australia because of David Jones? Or was she maybe just a fit model around the world? I guess we're just making up stories, aren't we? We don't know. But I thought that was interesting because
so
it was
there
made
were-
for David
There were a
Jones.
couple of other shirts that are not on here. They've gone.
Uh-huh.
Silk men's shirts, actually.
Oh, in the suitcase.
Yep. And there were David Jones as well. But old David Jones, just blue. But not men's shirts.
Interesting.
So I don't know whether they, because obviously some people like, but nothing in this wardrobe is oversized. So
No.
I don't think they were her shirts.
Okay.
Because someone was like,
So
when
they
we
were
had them
her-
all out, they were like, oh, it's probably just she wore an oversized shirt. And I went, no, none of this speaks to
No.
someone that would wear something oversized.
Can you imagine what she thinks of our oversized style now? She would be like, what are you guys thinking? Because everything is
exactly.
tailored to
Exactly.
every inch, like, of her body.
And even this boxy one, where
Yeah, this
it's
was
just
interesting.
boxy.
I don't
So-
know that brand. That looks a little bit
No.
more new, do you think?
I think so. But even the fact that it has...
I know, I love that.
Honestly, I was kind of like, this must have been her pregnancy dress because she's so
that's...
tiny.
You're right. I love that.
It's the only thing that's like stretchy.
I love how your brain works. That's so awesome.
It was the only... Because it just doesn't fit.
It's definitely
with
bigger.
Like it fits in its colour and it's like obviously really well made and it's, you know, everything matches beautifully.
Do you think it's 70s?
I think so, but it's just so much bigger than everything else. I was
Yeah.
like, no, that doesn't make any sense.
The other thing I
To
thought
me.
was maybe she's a collector.
Possibly.
I don't know.
I mean, that's it. We could just be making up. Could be
We
some-
totally are. We're just
some
fantasizing
80-year-old
here.
man that's now like, oh, I don't want to collect fashion anymore. I'm
Yeah,
done with it.
probably. But let's talk about this green one because I feel like this is sort of when she moved into her like maybe power era because this is a little bit sort of, I thought initially coming out of the 70s because of these buckles, but then look at the power shoulder, it's giving very like
Yeah.
80s, 90s, right?
And it's made in Argentina.
Made in Argentina, whereas everything else she has is made in Italy.
Yeah.
But this definitely seems newer.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And again, this is really large compared to everything else.
But then is
But it
that a
is an
sign of what you were saying that, you know, obviously this era was kind of maybe like 50s, 60s, 70s. And then as we went into like 80s and 90s, fashion did become bigger, didn't it? Women were wearing oversized a bit more and big
and it
suits.
is, I guess, because it's an outer coat as well. Like
Yes.
if you had like layers and a structured shirt underneath and a structured jacket, you would
That's
throw
true.
this over the top,
That's true.
depending on where you live. I like this part though.
I know, I was loving that too, which initially made me think of the 70s. Very 70s.
And
Like
it
that's
actually
something.
goes all the way through, which because at first I thought it just sat on top. It's actually doubled, so it's actually been hand. And then you put the facing on, and then they stick out, and then you just use your little tool to push these flat, and it holds them on. So that's all been done by hand.
Wow. So tell me when you found, I was showing the guys the suitcase before, you found it, you was on the loading dock, did you say?
So
Or?
it came in off a truck,
Uh-huh.
and one of the guys who sorts for us out the back, we just lots of things for us, just opened the suitcase because he felt it was heavy and it was actually going to another store. And when he popped it open, he knew straight away
Wow.
that there was something good in it. And then when he actually opened it, it was all like folded and very neatly wrapped with paper on it. So he knew straight away that there was something special in it.
Wow. I mean, how magical, right? Thank you for watching. I hope that you got as much of a kick out of it as I did. It's just full of just beauty and story, and I still have so many questions, like who donated it? Did they know about fashion? Did they know what was inside? Or was it just too hard and sad for them to hold on to it because of the memories? Who's the person who wore these clothes? I mean, they're teeny tiny. Was she a fit model? Did she live here in Australia? Or did she live in Paris? Did she get the clothes in Paris? I mean, I'm just gonna think about this for years to come. But that's what I love about thrifting. It ignites my storyteller, it ignites my inner child, and I just dream up all sorts of possibilities. And I think it's so beautiful and powerful when our clothes can do that and can give us that gift. Imagine the stories that those clothes can tell. And looking at the construction up close, particularly the Mugler, like the thought and the divine tailoring. And I mean, this is what, for me, fashion is about. It's about art and story and that connection. And I feel so connected to these pieces. And you really don't get that with fast fashion. Have you found something like killer vintage high-end designer in a thrift store? If you have, please share it with me in the comments. I would love to hear your stories as well. So if you live in Australia, some of these clothes will be available online at salvosstores.com.au, but we're also keeping a few that will be available for a silent auction at a really exciting event that we're having in May. So stay tuned for that. I will update you as it unfolds and as we plan it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry about the noise outside. It's very rainy here, but I just couldn't wait to share this story. So thank you for watching, and I will see you really soon for the next thrifty adventure. Mwah.